Go. Okay, my name is Adrian. I'm a member. Before we begin, we want to remind everyone that this meeting is being streamed live. To honor traditions of anonymity, the camera will only be focused on the podium. If you choose to share, you may stand at the podium on camera or off to the side if you prefer to remain off camera. Please remember to use only first names when introducing yourself. By participating in this meeting, you acknowledge that while we do our best to protect anonymity, we cannot control who may be watching the live stream. If you're not comfortable with this, we completely understand, and we encourage you to share in a way that feels safe to you. Thank you for your understanding and for respecting the traditions that keep our fellowship strong. We'd also at this time like to welcome everybody that's watching online to our meeting. Okay, welcome to the Hopper House. This is a community AA meeting, and let's start with a moment of silence and the serenity prayer. God, grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right. Are there any newcomers to this meeting? Okay, we have several. You want to go ahead and stand up and give us your name?
I'm David. Nice to meet y'all.
Welcome, David. Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Yeah.
Tony, I'm an alcoholic.
Tony. Welcome home, Tony.
Thanks.
My name's Cliff. I'm an alcoholic.
Welcome home, Cliff.
Welcome home.
All right. Are there any announcements tonight?
Sober.
Sober. That's good. All right. Is anyone opposed to vaping? Okay. Who you see here and what you hear here, let it stay here. Here. All right. Let's please keep profanity to a minimum for our spiritual principles. A donation basket will be going around to keep up with our seventh tradition. Contributions will cover rent, utilities, and coffee. The AA Preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA. Membership, we are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution. Does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. Okay, at this time, tonight is our birthday night, so we're going to go ahead and start with their chips and celebrate anyone who has a birthday night with the chips.
How's everybody doing tonight? Hey. So, my name's Matt, and I am an alcoholic.
And when y'all get y'all chips, if y'all want to say a few words, this is the time to say what's going on with y'all. Where y'all at, sobriety.
Appreciate that, Warren. And so, is there anybody celebrating 1 year? 1 year? Nope. 11 months. Everybody got 11 months. Everybody got 10 months. 9 months. 8 months. 7 months. 6. 5. 4.
I got
One day at a time, just fight those urges and keep coming back to these meetings, guys.
Thank God.
3 months. 2 months. All right.
All right. Hey.
That's how you did.
Thank you, Brad.
1 month. Anybody got 1 month?
Excuse me, fellas. Noise, keep the noise down, please.
And would anybody like the 24-hour chip? Nope. Right. Right here. What's your name?
My name's Cliff. I'm alcoholic. I've been sober like 12 days now.
That's good, man.
Congratulations. Welcome on.
Anybody else want one? All right. If you're sober, give yourself a hand.
All right. I've asked someone to read how it works.
Hey, my name's Sean. I'm a member. This is how it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you have decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any length to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. As some of these we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our demand, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, and powerful. Without help, it is too much for us. But there is one who has all power, and that one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact natures of our wrongs. 6, were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Many of us exclaimed, "What an order, I can't go through with it." Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. That is not the point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are the guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapters to the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. And C, that God could and would if he were so.
Hey, Sean.
Next, I've asked someone to read the 12 traditions.
Good evening, my name is Thomas. I'm a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. 12 traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon AA unity. Number 2, for our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority. A loving God as he may express himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants. They do not govern. Number 3, the only requirement for AA membership is a desire to stop drinking. 4, each group should be autonomous except in matters affecting the other groups or AA as a whole. Number 5, each group has but one primary purpose, to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. Number 6, an AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise lest problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. Number 7, every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. Number 8, Alcoholics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. Number 9, AA as such ought never be organized, but we may create boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. Number 10, Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11, our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. Number 12, anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, even reminding us to place principles before.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Don.
You're very welcome, sir.
We'll now have tonight's topic.
Hey, I'm Gordon. I'm an alcoholic.
Gordon.
Sober date of 4/1/26. Tonight's topic is going to be chapter 5, page 62, the last two paragraphs. It reads, so our troubles, we think, are basically of our own making. They arise out of ourselves, and the alcoholic is an extreme example of self-will run riot, though he usually doesn't think so. Above everything, we alcoholics must be rid of this selfishness. We must, or it kills us. God makes that possible, and there often seems no way of entirely getting rid of self without his aid. Many of us had moral and philosophical convictions galore, but we could not live up to them, even though we would have liked to. Neither could we reduce our self-centeredness much by wishing or trying on our own power. We had to have God's help. This is the how and why of it. First of all, we had to quit playing God. It didn't work. Next, we decided that hereafter in this drama of life, God was going to be our director. He is the principal. We are his agents. He is the Father, and we are his children. Most good ideas are simple, and this concept was the keystone of the new and triumphant arch through which we pass to freedom. So what I get out of that is, for me, I tried to do everything on my own for so long, thinking I was so smart. There wasn't nothing I couldn't do. I could hold a job. I could do this. I could be one of the most intelligent people around, at times, and I could always progress, but I just couldn't get that one thing right. No matter what I did in life, it's like I'd get so far and then bam, I get knocked down. I couldn't beat the addiction. No matter what I did in life, it was just I wasn't smart enough to beat it. I couldn't do it. And then one day, I finally find this place after 4 DUIs, and several other things gone awry, 30 years of abuse. I finally found this place, and not only did I find this place, but I found God. And I had to realize that I had to put God first, because just like the first step says, I had to admit that I was powerless. I could run everything else. I could be successful at anything else, but the disease, I couldn't beat it on my own. You had to quit playing God, like it says. You just had to stop thinking that you could run everything, because it doesn't matter how smart you are, how tough you are, or how good you are at anything. That disease gets a hold of you, it's gonna rip you apart. It doesn't care. It doesn't play favorites. It doesn't care who you are, where you're from, what you do, who your friends are, where you grew up. None of that stuff. Once it gets a hold of you, it's over with. And the only way to beat it is to put God first. To realize that, hey, you just got to sit back and put God in control and just let him drive the car, and you sit in the passenger seat with the aux cord and just drive, just ride. This place right here, it's the place that did it for me. This Hopper House is really, really something else. If you guys will just make it through, put your head down, do the work, man, you'll be surprised at the change it's going to make in you guys. You really will. You'll be new men before too long. And with that, I'm going to pass.
We're gonna start up on that side.
We're going to start on this side today. All right, we'll start on this side and go around. It's going to be a podium meeting, so if you want, just come and step in the center. If you don't want to be on camera, you can just step off to the side.
Thank you, Gordon.
What's up, guys? My name is Albert. I'm a recovering
Albert.
addict, sober date 6/21/26. Yeah, I've never really been much of a, I guess, God person. I've never really put God first. When I was in a relationship, that's one thing that my ex used to always tell me. I was with her for 12 years, and she would always tell me, you need to start, placing your faith in God, and He'll take care of everything. And I was like, whatever, I got this, but like Gordon, Gordon was saying, we're able to hold a job for a little bit, and then everything just messes up, and it just goes like a downward spiral. And for me, it was the same thing. I'd worked for a few years, and then after a while, I just stopped showing up because, my addiction got the best of me. I'm sure a lot of us are like that. I don't know. I can't speak for y'all, but I almost feel like it's almost like an earthquake, like everything's good, everything's cool, and then just out of nowhere, magnitude 8.0 hits, and it just crumbles everything. That's pretty much what happened to me about a month ago. Everything was going well, and then I just made one bad decision to leave, and everything just crumbled. And I'm having to rebuild the pieces, rebuild my city, I guess. And it's going good now. I'm starting to get more into the NA. Starting to enjoy church, when I've never really been to church, when outside of here, but I'm starting to, pay more attention to all that, Still a little upset over what happened, I guess, yesterday or the day before. A buddy of mine left, and just worried about him. I hope he's okay. Keeping him in my prayers, and hope he comes back. But we'll see as time goes by. But with that, I'll pass. Thank you.
Thank you, Albert.
My name is Giovanni. I'm an alcoholic.
Thank you.
For me, both of my parents were addicted to drugs when I was a kid. So it was a very broken home, whether I lived with my mom or with my dad. And so selfishness was a defense mechanism to the world around me. It was my way of coping with life on life's terms. I see that now. But today I have so much faith in my higher power, which I choose to call God, and I share this because I wanted to keep it to myself, but to hopefully inspire somebody else. I have so much faith in God today that tomorrow I get to have the opportunity to not only be of service to the Hopper House, to be of service to my family, but also I'm gonna take my son when I take him to McDonald's. We're gonna go right there by the bridge and see how many homeless people are there and hand out some burgers. You know what I mean? And I don't expect anything in return for that. It just feels good to help somebody else. Nobody wants to be taken advantage of. So don't just jump out there and not take care. But when you find yourself in a position to where things are going good at work, things are going good in your program, the best thing that you can do is help somebody else. That feeling that when you come in and you're inspired and you want to do something different, that seems to fade away as time goes by and we don't do anything about it. So when we help somebody else, that rejuvenates that feeling, that willingness comes back. It's like a fresh pair of eyes. That's all I got.
Thank you.
I'm Jesse Carson. I'm an alcoholic addict. 6/25 of 26. Yeah, I struggled a lot doing drugs and alcohol, lost all my family, lost my mom, lost my dad, but I'm doing better. I feel better about my life, the way things are going. Got a job, I'm working again, doing good. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Sammy, I'm a member.
Hey, Sammy.
Me, I didn't realize I couldn't do everything on my own. So I used to try to do that. It got me the
Hands up.
same place. Prison 3 times. So yeah, kind of learned. Now I know I can't do it by myself. So God's help and people around me help too. So I had to change everything, whole environment and all that stuff to get here. So sometimes that's what you have to do. But that's it.
Thank you, Sammy.
I'm just listening now.
Thank you, Jack.
So it says, first of all, we have to quit playing God. In my ways, I like to say I have faith, but when I picked up the bottle and everything like that, I was more worried about drinking than having faith, and that's something that you got to look at. Once you pick up the bottle, you lose your faith a little bit, and we need to put down the bottle and pick up faith more, and that's all I want to say. And thank you.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, Jared. I'm a member. I'm just
Thank you, Brad. Keep listening.
listening.
Sean, I'm an addict, remember, I just got to put God in all my ways, give him charge, surrender my will, and come to these meetings. That's how I stay sober. So thanks.
Thank you, Sean.
My name is Mike. I'm just gonna listen today. Glad you're here, brother.
Listen, my name is Bernard. I'm an alcoholic. I'm just gonna listen. Listen.
Brother.
Listen.
Thank you, Robbie. Keep listening.
I'm Devon. I'm just gonna listen.
Thank you.
Oldest, I'm a member. Let's go listen.
Thank you, Eric.
What I'm gonna say, I'm Barry Stevens. I'm an addict. Man, I come from a really good family. I'm from a small town. I don't know. My parents raised me right. All my decision making was really my own. I have a bad habit with authority. About the age of 14, me and my best friend was on the back road one night in Hermley, Texas. His name was Joshua Gilbert. We were smoking K2, so at that time they were selling at the store and shit. And I don't know if y'all know the Scooby snacks and stuff like that when they were selling. But me and my homeboy Josh, we still always go over there and buy them. And one night we was on the back road drinking a Mad Dog 4040, and he had rolled a blunt, but I didn't know it was K2 in it. And while we was driving, we had gotten into a flip, and he had ended up dying, bro. And we on the back road. I had no phone. So that right there kind of killed the game for me. And my daddy died when I was 16 because of alcohol. I was raised by a good man, but he sure was mean whenever he had the alcohol in his blood. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm trying to take that every day as a blessing, and I'm just glad I'm not out there going through the same recycle repeat, same people doing the same lame ass shit. Excuse my language. I'm really blessed for all y'all in this place, but that's all I got to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
name is Antonio Baker. I've been, not much. I've been sober since about 3/21/3/19 of 2019, somewhere in between there. I'd like to thank God and Jesus for being here, and everybody that joined the class tonight, Alcoholics Anonymous. But yeah, I go back as far as when I was younger, and I remember the first time I was handed a beer, and it was by my dad and his friends, and they thought it was funny. I didn't find it funny. I thought it was apple juice, so I threw it on the ground. Later on in life, I started making decisions that were poor, going into convenience stores, robbing convenience stores for 40 ounces in Los Angeles, New York City, Texas, everywhere in between. And finally, I realized, and I was young. Like I said, I believe my first beer was probably like the age of like 5, and marijuana, drugs. And then next it was probably around the age of 10. My dad had died in 97. I was about 10. This is about 2000. And I knew in my mind not to use, but I continued with older cousins, friends, family, and didn't know better right from wrong. But I do remember God coming to me and Jesus saying, hey, you need to change your life, because if you don't, you'll end up where your father's at, in hell. And I thought about it, and my brother at the time, he was probably like 4, 5, and I needed to change my life. So I came to Texas, and at the age of, I'd have to say like 18, 19, I had enlisted in the Army at 16, Army Reserve, 18 enlisted. And I still couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, but I went to college and continued to drink in college, and it didn't get me anywhere but in jail. And I figured the long way, the hard way, not to do it. Now, I've been sober since 2019, and reality does strike you at some point. You're going to be faced with reality, a hard check or a quota check, or that feeling that right from wrong. And if you continue, well, you'll end up right back in the penitentiary or the jail, or homeless, or dead, or drunk driving. I've seen friends die from drunk driving. I've seen friends and family die from what you'd say is cirrhosis of the liver. Different ways of alcoholism. It does make you crazy. I'm not saying that not everybody, right? But for the average person, if you drink like I did, or with my uncles or cousins or friends, we drink 30-pack after 30-pack, or kegs and beer parties and nonstop, eventually you just lose your mind, and your mind, body, soul, and spirit. So take me as an example, because my dad, he drank, my mom drank, they used drugs, my aunts and uncles and cousins did. And I decided in 2019 to stop doing it. And even in La Pinta, or in the bin, or what you'd say the penitentiary, you come across people, you drink the rooch, you get sick. You smoke the weed or the cigarette or the K2, you get sick. It's best that you just leave it alone, because if you don't, like I said, you end up right back in there, and ain't nothing in there for you. You say you got homies or friends in there, people don't love you. Honestly, they don't give a damn about you. They don't. I have kids. I have a beautiful love of my life, and I continue to strive for better steps. Like I said, I'm going to Howard College this fall. I've been accepted to different colleges, and not just that, I am now being hired or looking for more work to do. And that's just me. I'm working my way back up the ladder, because I did at one point think I had everything, and I have shit but a bottle, And at the end of that bottle, the wishing well, it runs dry. Your pockets are empty, you get sick. So just go to these classes, go to church, meet Wednesday nights, Wednesday mornings, Catholic outreach services. Every night I come to these courses, maybe not Monday or Friday because I'm busy. I get one day off. School Monday through Friday, or if not, I'll be at school or at my job working. Plain Jane is the way to be, because thinking you're going to get money or get rich off of alcohol, nah, you're not. And just take me as an example, because like I said, I had everything, and now I'm having to rebuild. So God bless you, and just take the lesson as heeded, because tomorrow's not promised. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Seriously. And eventually you'll understand, because you have kids, children, babies, or a love that is watching you, and not just that, God and Jesus Christ are watching you. So bless you.
Preston, I'm a member of the
Thank you, Preston. Keep listening.
Kelly, I'm a member of AA. And I'm going to talk about self-will run rampant. My self-will landed me 16 years in prison. You know, my self-will landed me 5 years homeless, living in a tent on the river, right here in San Angelo, Texas. You know, I stand here today, and it was me. I couldn't get over me. You know, even last year I came to the Hopper House, and even though I completed the program, I thought I could get the tools and I could do it. You know, that's why shortly after I left, I had a relapse. Not only did I have a relapse, I had an 8-month relapse. But you know, and during all that, I learned some things. Number one, I can't do it myself. And once I realized that I had to let my higher power have it. I stand here today. Let's see, I got here May the 8th. I stand here today. Today, not only did I pay my rent, but I paid a month in advance today. I'm a leader in the community. You know, I sponsor several men, you know, and it's not because of me. You know, it's not. This isn't what I normally do. No, I'd have got that first paycheck, I'd have been gone. You know, I got some money now. I don't need to work no more. You know, but for all you newer guys that are coming in, you just got here, or you just got here today, give it some time. Let it work the program. You know, put the work in. It takes work. But I'm telling you, man, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. That's all I have.
Thank you. My name's Matt, and I'm an alcoholic. I liked what it talked about on the self-will run, right? I think about how many years I did just what I wanted to do. And I think about, like, it's like banging my head against the wall. And I wonder sometimes what those people on the outside would, you know, every time I kept doing the same thing over and over. But, you know, the antidote to me is that step 3, to make a decision, turn my will and my life over to the care of God as I understood. And that's a daily thing with me. And I'm not perfect. I still get off into self-will, but I'm trying each day when I wake up to meditate on step 3, you know, to let God have it. And I found so far I'm walking down close to 60 days, and my life here so far is it's just crazy how this program works, and where I was a little over 2 months ago. You know, I thought I was headed right back. I didn't really care where I went, and just getting here is a blessing. Getting here was a blessing. This wasn't even in the horizon. Probably getting a little off topic, but I'm just gonna go. But just today, man, I feel so much better. This place right here is a blessing. You just have to want it, and you have to apply. You have to get out there and get a sponsor, work the steps, and just do the suggested things that some of these older guys that have been here and listen to what they have to say. But I know for me, I've got, you know, some good things going. My aunt's coming tomorrow. I wasn't even close to this aunt, and she just, since I've been here, just popped up out of the woodwork, and we've kind of just been talking and texting, and she's coming tomorrow because she sees the change in me. You know, I guess she sees something that she's never seen or heard of with me, because I've been doing this for so long. But man, I just can encourage you new guys to just stick it out and just do what's suggested. That's all I have.
Thank you, Matt.
I'm John, Cricket. I grew up around alcohol. My dad, mom, everybody around us was either alcoholic or addict. I brought that with a lifestyle for several years. I became an addict, alcoholic, whatever I could get my hands on for several years. I probably knew everything, but I didn't know shit. Uh, been in and out of prison several times. Uh, the last time I had several charges in Odessa. I had a shop. I lost all my shop. That's lost $7,000 worth of tools. I had everything, had everything gone for me. I had 4 things in the way. I had drugs, alcohol, people, things, and places in my way. Uh, I think all you know what I'm talking about. All my friends and everything are part of our friends, but they wasn't friends. When I got in trouble, they all didn't know me. Uh, I probably had to come to a decision the last time. And what really made my mind up, I was strung out on heroin, drugs, and everything. Had several charges against me, sitting behind bars. My mom come up and see me and my sister. And I'm going through DTs and everything, got saved, sick. Uh, but made me sick, man. Seeing my mom and my sister. I had a 55-year sentence hanging over me for different charges. Uh, went to TDC, messing with drugs and alcohol there. And a couple of years. In 1975, my mom passed away. I didn't get to go to the funeral. Me and my mom were the only one that were really closest. All my brothers and sisters always tried to help me. Said, John, you need to change your life. I said, I'm doing good. I'm doing my way only. You know, I didn't really had a whole lot of support growing up, but I finally had to make the decision either I would go die in prison or die with a needle in my arm. And I've been there 2 years. I was in Houston. I was in the solar living house in Houston. We didn't have no supports or nothing there. I was talking to my sister, who lived here in San Angelo, and she goes, I got a solar living house here in San Angelo, Harbor House. Well, I had 2 shops here. I had one on 2nd Street in Chadburn. I had one on 29th in Chadburn. I lost them both for places, things, and people hanging around me. I wasn't doing no drugs, but I got violated for having all the wrong people hanging around my shop, doing all the wrong things. But besides the point, it just finally made my mind up that I had changed my life. I've been there 2 years. I gained a lot of trust here. I'm a leader, mechanic man, do it all. A lot of you guys that see me around here, been here, know what I do. If you just, like Chris said, empty your cup out. You fill that cup up with good habits, not your bad habits. And just have the strength and willpower up here. You can do it, but leave it up to the higher power the evil guys away. Thank you.
I remember. Um, for me, it was I had everything in life. I did. I was clean for a while, and just one little thing, one mistake I did. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust the person that I love too much. Took me 2 months to took everything.
Take your time, brother.
Knowing knowing the program very well. I'm saying very well. I was a very member. I was AA, NA. I was participating and everything, but I forgot one thing. The minute that I left that book, the minute that I didn't trust my higher power, it went off. And I did what the best it is. I started running. I saw somebody that was coming to Abilene, to pass to Abilene. He was going to Austin. So I told him to take me. I just wanted to run from the problem and find out in Abilene that the power of me, the person that I love, is still continue helping me out. All that problem was me because I didn't want to. I was so selfish myself again. I lost everything in the house. I lost car. I lost I lost myself. I think I could say I wanted to kill myself little by little by doing drugs, by doing alcohol, by doing the worst things in my life. And I slept in the street for 3 days. One day I got up. I guess that was a wake up. That's what we call a wake up time from the spirit of God touch you and tell you, walk. You're more stronger than that. You're a child of mine. And I didn't know that I didn't have wherever I was sleeping, it has a food. I was hungry for 2 or 3 days. I didn't want to eat. All I think it was just I guess I wanted to kill myself little by little. So I just went and started eating. I started getting healthy. My mom wasn't working very well. I wanted to go to this program that's in Ohio, but then I stopped thinking, why you running still? Why you still running? You know what to do, you know what? Honestly, just be a man. Ask God, talk to God and just get on the knees and tell him what you need and walk through it. It was those two ladies that they told me about this program. I didn't try it twice. I went and called them. This is who I am right now. Yeah, I'm beating myself because I know that program. I know who I am. But as of right now, I'm probably myself. Not to beat up myself too much, because I guess that's one of the problems that I have. That's a solution for myself, I guess. And I think everybody, honestly, this is a good program. I can feel it. I can feel that everybody as a good person. Even the first day I got in here, I felt the Holy Spirit at this place, the whole team at this place, and I know I can do something for myself. And I appreciate everybody for your stories, and I appreciate everybody for being part of my recovery. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Thomas. I'm a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. I want to kind of bring it back to the subject of the fact that our self-will runs right. Your self-will tells you that that everything's okay. Your self-will is going to tell you that what you're doing is all right. And obviously it's wrong, or you wouldn't be here in this place listening to me right now. Because if you could get sober and clean on your own, you wouldn't be here. That's the truth. That's the truth for every single one of us here. My self-will told me that until that runs out, I'm all right. When it runs out, now we got a problem when stuff runs out. But I want to bring it to the point of this paragraph and what Gordon chose, because it speaks volumes to us. It should speak volumes to you, because you don't get here unless you've completed your first two steps. This tells you that your life had become unmanageable. You cannot do it on your own. You've got to, in the same way that you were selfish about your addiction, selfish about your alcoholism, you've got to be selfish about your sobriety. Value it like it's a pot of gold, like it's the best thing, like somebody's fixing to hand you $1 million lottery ticket. Value it, because those that don't value it are out there in the street, and I guarantee you about a mile away from here or one day away from here, you're going to think different. This is my third time here. My self-thinking, my self-will landed me in the penitentiary. That's what my self-will did to me, because I'm selfish. Nothing can take my sobriety from that anymore. I'm going to tell you that I left a job because there were situations there at my job that I don't have to put up with. And that's how much I value my sobriety. I don't have to deal with that anymore, not in my life, because everything's going good. Every day something happens good. Every week something happens good. Keep working this program. Stay here. Value your freedom. Value your life. Value your family. But nobody else can make you sober and clean. Nobody. You can't put it on nobody. You can't put it on your kids. You say, I'm going to do it for somebody else, because you'll fail. Do it for yourself. Do it for yourself, for tomorrow, for next year, but live it on life's terms and one day at a time. Thank y'all.
Thank you. My name's Johnny. I'm just going to say. My name's Paul. I'm alcoholic. Paul. And I'm going to try this because I've never took anything serious. But since I got a sponsor, Gordon, and I was always going to AA classes. When I go to them, I was forced to go. But I decided that's what I want to do, is come to a program, because I was sitting in a hotel after I left Dallas because I got strung out on crack cocaine so bad. I was clean for 15 years. Moved to Dallas, I was there 2 years. Within 6 months, I was hooked on crack cocaine so bad, so I moved back to Houston to a hotel, and it was even worse. I had paid for a whole week to stay there, so I figured I could probably get back on my feet. But I ended up using my whole paycheck while I was there, smoking with the women's, letting them have money. They said they'd be right back, never do come back and stuff. And then I was sitting there one day, and I had 1 day to be out of there. And that one day before I had to get out of there, I was just sitting there watching television, and a commercial came on about getting sober, call somebody. So I started making phone calls, but I'm serious. I was just one day, that Wednesday at 12 o'clock, I was going to have nowhere to go. So I got to make them phone calls that Tuesday. I got to make the phone calls. The next day I know I can't even think of the name of the place because I got it written down. But anyway, they sent a limo, not a limo, they sent an Uber to get me. And they came and got me, and they took me to this place, this hospital where you get detox. And I stayed there for 6 days because they don't supposed to be 5, but I stayed there 6 days. And that 6 days I was there, they finally found someone that would take my insurance. And it was this place here. But when I first got here, within 2 days, I was ready to leave. I promise you I was. But after that 3rd day, I said, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a chance because I came on my own. I wasn't forced to come. I came because I was sitting in that hotel, spent all my money. And it was raining every day. And I used to always see the homeless people sitting out there. And I said, man, I'll never be like that. But I was headed that way. But after I made that phone call, and they got me to the detox place, and once they got me there, then they started getting me back well again. But I never had took none of this serious before. But like I say, since I got this man here, God, as my sponsor, he got me working steps that I never had took serious. And now I'm taking it serious now. That's all I got.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Guadalupe. I'm just going to listen today.
Thank you, Guadalupe. Keep listening.
My name is Kenny. I'm just going to listen.
Kenny, keep listening.
My name is Maurice. I'm
Maurice.
a alcoholic. Thing that sticks out to me the most is playing God. And I'm pretty sure everybody got a friend or know someone who's they get under that influence of alcohol or drugs, and they just keep talking about God, thinking they lead others to God. That was me. I would drink, go that way, and just talk about God, talk about God, talk about God. And I call myself meeting them where they at, but really, I was just stuck in that addiction that I didn't know I had a problem with. And it was crushing. Sooner or later, people started to avoid me. And it made me feel bad. You know, I'm always used to being alone because I was in prison. I was always alone. So over time, I just realized, like, I'm not God. I can't save people by going and drinking and smoking, thinking that they see the light of God in me, when really it's like spitting up vomit on them. I'm talking about God, but passing them the bottle, passing them drugs. How is that God? That's not God. And I had to realize that I had lost my sense of direction, trying to fit in with the crowd, but also trying to fall out to God at the same time. I was being tugged and pulled in 2 directions, 3 directions, 4 directions when you really look at it, because I was hanging with different groups doing different things, thinking that I was bringing the light of God when I was really bringing confusion. And I got chastised real bad. Job, paying $3,000 a week, gone. Being used to having money in my pocket every day, going to buy what I want. If I see it, I want it. I need it, I'm buying it. You know, the
felt good, but then at the end of the day, it was nothing because I had lost myself trying to so-called help others when I was only a hindrance to them. I was only a hindrance to myself. And so it came at a point to where, like a lot of you guys, you got that tap on the shoulder. Wake up. And I love silence. But when I got to the point where the silence was noisier than anything I could listen to, the music, the train, anything, it bothered me very much. And I find myself sleeping in my car. Got all my clothes in my car because my aunt stopped liking me. My uncle stopped liking me. You know, and I had to admit that I was an addict. I couldn't manage. I couldn't continue on as I was going, or I was gonna die. Because I came to a point where I wanted to die. And I was just begging God, like, please do something, show me something, lead me back, hold me back, you know, just love me again. Because I had lost my love for myself. I had lost my self-respect, you know, and thank him that he led me here, you know. So when I sit in silence now, it's quiet. I don't hear my own demons of my trauma and my background roaring at me, things I did, you know, people out here, you know. And I'm thankful for all you guys, you know. I know I don't talk a lot, and I don't embrace a lot of people as I should, but I ask, forgive me, you know. And like he said, you got to be selfish. So I'm being selfish at this moment. So I would go in my room and enjoy the quiet. I would go in my room, you know, and seek God's voice, you know, say my prayers, and, you know, continue on this path of working these steps. And it's working. I got my peace back. I got my calm back. I got my thinking back. I don't have the STD anymore, which is, to me, is a stinking thinking disorder. So I'm thankful for all you guys, for Mr. Hopper, you know, and just keep coming back. It works if you work it.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you.
My name's Cliff, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm only a few days sober. I would just like to, I'd like to just say something about complacency. I've had some years sober in Alcoholics Anonymous. I've had some years sober in Celebrate Recovery. I've had some years sober in church and on my own. I just know that every time everything gets going good and I get successful, and I can do that very quickly usually. And but every time I start, whatever it is that I'm doing that got me to that point where I am successful, I feel like there's a part of it that I don't need anymore. And there's a part of it that I can do without. And I get complacent. And I just wanted to say to anybody who's if you've never been here before, or if you can stay sober here, and people who go to meetings, just stay going to meetings and keep doing their steps, stay sober. And if anybody sees me getting complacent, please tell me. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Kevin. I believe that hope was placed in the hearts and the minds of people in this room and the people online. At this time, we're going to have somebody read the promises.
Sammy, remember?
Sammy.
Promises. We are painstaking about this phase of our development. We will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace, no matter how far down the scale we have gone. We will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises?
Amen.
They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them.
Thank you, Sam. This meeting's been designed to last for an hour and it has, so we're gonna go ahead and close out in our usual manner.
Everyone, help the chairs, put the chair back up, please.
Go ahead and put up the chairs, circle up.
Yeah, man, freaking tired with that, man. But when we went over there, it was pretty going flat. And I was like, man, I aired it up. And I was like, I better take the pump. So I took the pump. I aired it up like 3 times. And hell, about the last time you did.
Go ahead and bring that circle in so we can close up. Come on, guys.
Right here. I got here at 7:01.
Dory?
Close it up.
Close it up.